summer day you have given us. Thank you for your many blessings as we closed out another school year and now look forward to a short break for our students, teachers, and staff. We pray for a safe, relaxing, and fun summer for all. We thank you for the people present in this room tonight. We pray for your continued guidance and wisdom as we make decisions and listen attentively and with an open mind so that we may best serve all those we represent. In your name, amen. All right, thank you for being here. At this time, we will call the June 10th Board of Trustees meeting to order, and I will ask for an approval of our consent agenda.
So moved.
Okay, motion made by Ms. Bates.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Guthrie. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, we will call for the vote. Okay, and the motion carries 6 in favor, 1 absent. Okay, and now we will move into our district highlights. Thank you, Ms. Troy.
Good evening, Board Chair Dr. Wimberly, Assistant Superintendent Mr. Doherty, and board members. At this time, I will turn the podium over to Mr. Griggs for this highlight, and then I'll return and close it out.
Thank you, Ms. Troy. Good evening, members of the school board and esteemed guests. My name is David Griggs. I'm the head coach at Green Wave Esports at Somerville High School. I'm excited to share with you the remarkable accomplishment of Kevin Bonilla, one of our students and outstanding players. Kevin's skill in Brawlhalla led him to dominate the HSEL Fall Major Tournament, defeating over 170 regional competitors. He continued his winning streak, claiming victory in the Elite Spring Premier Tournament, solidifying his place among the nation's top players. This earned him a spot in the HSEL National Tournament, where he competed against 12 of the best high school players in the country and emerged national champion. This monumental achievement brings great recognition to our esports program, Somerville High School, and Dorchester District 2. Kevin's achievements exemplify the dedication and talent nurtured within our district. Please join me in congratulating him on this extraordinary accomplishment.
It is my honor to announce that Windsor Hill Arts Infused Elementary School has received recertification as a South Carolina Arts and Basic Curriculum Certified School. The mission of this state program is to ensure students in South Carolina have access to arts-rich educational opportunities as a core component of their curriculum. There is a total of 74 arts and rich schools in South Carolina. This certification proves Windsor Hill Arts Infused Elementary School with resources, networking opportunities, professional development, curriculum support, and a $12,500 grant through the South Carolina Arts Commission. These resources enable the Windsor Hill schools to offer our students a well-rounded education by teachers who are equipped with the latest strategies and techniques in arts education. Their commitment to the arts prepares our students for bright futures, fostering creativity, critical thinking, and a lifelong appreciation for the arts. Congratulations, Mr. Nooner and Windsor Hill Arts Infused Elementary School. Please come forward. And that completes our highlights for this evening.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Mrs. Troy. And next, we have public comments on agenda items, and we have none this evening. And for the board chair's report, I have a couple of things. First, I will talk about graduation. I believe that most of us were there that day, and I'm sure that you would all agree with me. It was a phenomenal day of celebrating our amazing students. One of, I think, all of our most favorite days of the year. Just to give you a little statistics, we had 1,781 graduates in our 3 high schools. We had $43,517,575 in scholarships earned by our students. I think that deserves a round of applause. That is phenomenal. We had 64 military enlistees, and I think that also deserves a round of applause. And we had 51 students who earned an associate's degree on top of their high school diploma. So again, one more round of applause. But yeah, it was an amazing day, and we really are so fortunate to have such outstanding students who have worked so hard, the culmination of their careers. And I know that all of the students that I spoke with expressed such gratitude for the teachers and staff here in Dorchester District 2 who poured into them to make that possible. So it really was a great day. And then additionally, I have some information regarding an upcoming conference that I just wanted to share with you. And I know most of you have probably seen this, but the SCSBA Law Conference is August 10th and 11th in Charleston, and registrations for that are open. So if you plan to attend, please go ahead and let Wanda know so that she can get you registered. And also, you may have seen in your most recent SOUP update, but we are looking at having our board advance on August 9th, the day before that conference. So as of right now, that is the tentative date. If you have a conflict or an issue with that and have not let me know, please do so immediately so I can get with you about that. But as of right now, that is the plan. Any questions about that? Okay, great. Well, then now we will move into our board committee reports. And first up, we have our policy committee. Ms. Bates, do you have anything this evening?
No, not currently. Our policy meeting, our committee meeting just happened right before here, so we'll have policies for first reading at the next board meeting.
Okay, thank you very much. Finance committee, Mr. Guthrie?
Nothing tonight.
Okay, thank you. And our facilities committee, Mr. Farnsworth?
Nothing tonight. Thank you.
Okay, wow. Well, that was easy. saving all the hard stuff for our fill-in superintendent. We are fortunate to have Mr. Daugherty here with us tonight. We appreciate you stepping in and filling in for us. So I will hand it over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Wimberly and Board of Trustees and the rest of the board. This evening, per Dr. Robbins, I know Dr. Robbins and the finance team and the board has worked extremely hard in our 2024-25 budget. And here this evening, we're here to we need a board approval on adopting our operating budget. And you can see in the first slide here, there's an 8.35% increase from last year's budget to this year. Last year, we had $266 million budget. Now we're up to $288 million. And that's through our assessed valuation. So that's helped our operating budget. And then going to the next slide and looking to what we're doing for this year. And I know Dr. Robbins was tasked us as a leadership committee and also with our finance department is trying to get our starting salaries up for teachers. And this year we're able to take our starting salary from $43,500 to $49,000 next year with this new budget. And that's a huge undertaking by the finance team. Dr. Robbins and the board has really dug into this and trying to put our teachers first. As you can see, there's $12 million put into teacher salaries this year. So again, we've increased the schedule. Instead of 28 steps, it'll be 30 years for a step. So we're very excited about that. So you can see a $5,500 increase for our starting salary. Then also those teachers will also get a step. And so you're going to see a huge increase with that. So most of our teachers are going to be getting close to $7,000 this year for next year. So we're very excited about that. Then also you can see here signing bonuses, $900,000, $2,000 for new classroom teacher signing bonus, $3,000 for special education teachers signing bonus. There's $2.3 million spent for longevity stipends. And those longevity stipends, for example, you have 0 to 10 years of service will receive $500. 11 to 20 years of service will be $1,000. And then 21 plus years will receive $1,250. And again, the longevity bonus is that. Also, you'll see an increase, a benefit cost increase of $4.2 million. Those are the benefits. Those are insurance costs. So we will accrue those as well. And then the other thing to put in regards is $670,000 extracurricular and co-curricular activity stipends. So this will go to some of our people that do robotics. So those stipends have been increased. One thing Dr. Robbins was big on is indexing those salaries. So, for example, it's based on the starting teacher's salary. So every time that teacher's salary, beginning teacher salary goes up, then the stipend, ECA stipends will get a raise as well. So that they won't be left behind on some of those things, as we really appreciate all the extra work these people do providing those experiences for our young people after school. So we want to reward them as well. And then the other thing when we're looking at this is you have a $3.9 million positions for growth for classified and certified staff. Our enrollment is increasing, so again, there's some money there left for that. So you can see there's an 8.35% increase in the budget from $266 million to $288 million. The other thing I did not put in there is our classified staff, our classified and admin salary increases. That's $2.4 million. So about $1.6 million, $1.7 million is going to go to our classified staff, and our classified staff will have an average of a 4% increase, which includes new salary and a step. So they'll receive about a 4% increase as well. So we're really excited about this budget and what we're able to do for our people, classified and certified. I want to thank the Board of Trustees for all of your support, our finance team, Ms. Meunier, and Lisa and Dr. Robbins. They've done a wonderful job trying to put this together. So we just want to thank them as well. So at this time, if there's any questions that I can entertain, or if we need Ms. Meunier to, if you have any questions there before we ask for the board approval.
Madam Chair, I make a motion we accept the 2024-2025 general operating budget as presented.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Farnsworth. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Bates. Any questions or discussion at this time?
Not to have a discussion, but as late as, I think it was Friday, I was out at one of the schools in my listening session, and, someone from the clerical staff, they had questions about what was going to be coming. And I said, I can't tell you specifically what's coming, but we have everyone that we could possibly put in the pot. They're going to get something. So I just want to say thanks to everyone that contributed to making sure that this happened, because a lot of times they felt kind of left behind. But this year, I believe, if it could be done, it's been done.
Okay.
And I would echo Ms. Powell. I just want to sincerely applaud the district. I want to applaud our board for the time and effort. I don't know that folks understand what has to go into creating this type of budget. When you're almost $300 million, we take that very, very, very seriously. And so, of course, everybody knows the saying, show me your budget and I'll show you what you value. And I think with this year's budget specifically, we are telling our educators, we're telling our district that we care about them on a very, very deep level. We want the best of the best. We want them to come here and we want them to stay here. And that's what we are proving with this budget. We are putting our money where our mouth is. So again, just want to express my appreciation for that process.
Anyone else?
I mean, obviously, I echo the same sentiments. I know every single person on this board, in this room, that has had their hand in it, has worked tirelessly to ensure our staff and people know how much we appreciate them, even in the deficit we're working with sometimes due to our funding issue. But our priority, first and foremost, is our people and making sure they know they're valued, appreciated, and irreplaceable. So thank you for all your hard work.
Yep. I think we all agree our people are definitely our priority, and we are investing our money in them. So we are proud of this budget for that reason. And at this time, if there's no further discussion, I will call for the vote. Okay, and the motion carries, 6 in favor, 1 absent.
Okay, Dr. Wimberly and board members, at this time, we're going to need to declare the results of the referendum. And so I have several resolutions that I need to read, and we will need to vote individually for each one of these. And so I will go ahead and read our first resolution declaring the results of a referendum held on May 14th, 2024, on the question of the issuance of not exceeding $200 million general obligations bonds of School District Number 2 of Dorchester County, South Carolina. It is hereby declared that the referendum resulted in the favor of school districts' issuance of not exceeding $200 million general obligation bonds. So I'm needing a vote and approval of the board tonight on this.
Okay, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, motion made by Ms. Bates, seconded by Ms. Crosby. Any discussion? Okay. Hearing none, I will call for the vote. Motion carries, 6 in favor, 1 absent.
Okay, our next one resolution is authorizing the use of the general obligation bonds approved in the referendum. So, resolution authorizing the issuance and the sale of not exceeding $200 million general obligation bonds in 1 or more years, in 1 or more series with appropriate series designations, with the issuance of general obligation bond anticipation notes in 1 or more years, in 1 or more series with appropriate series designations, and the issuance of bonds through the SCAGO Go program in 1 or more years, in 1 or more series with appropriate series designations by School District Number 2 of Dorchester County, South Carolina. So I'm asking for board approval on resolution number 2.
So I have a motion. Motion made by Ms. Powell, seconded by Ms. Crosby. Any discussion?
I will go super, I promise I'll be super quick because we didn't really say anything about the first one. I think, I'm assuming everybody is beyond excited. I don't know, from our very first discussions about this referendum late last year, and then to be able to actually put into place tonight the resolution to bring that funding to our school district, it's bigger, I think, than any of us put together. What we are about to embark on will change. We will have generational change, not in the Low Country, not in South Carolina, but national, worldwide scale. We are about to create generational change for our students. That's impactful. Every single person that had anything to do with this referendum should feel really, really, really proud knowing that we're able to make that positive impact. So again, just very, very grateful to our community for allowing us the opportunity for the referendum. And I will tell you, I promise, and again, I'm not going to speak for anybody, but I promise, I know everybody else would say the same thing. We will use those funds judiciously. We will use them expeditiously and ensure that we are getting the absolute most bang for the buck that we can from that referendum. So thank you.
Madam Chair, to be efficient, I was just going to wait till we were done voting on all of them, but I just wanted to extend a gratitude and thankfulness to every single person in our community who did everything they could. It took a village and a lot of people poured a lot of time and heart and soul into this on our behalf, and I'm just very thankful, and I would be remiss if I didn't say thank you to everybody who had a hand in it.
Yes, I'd just like to say to every person, I'm echoing what has already been said, but especially for those that spearheaded it. You know, the plan was given and they just took it and ran with it. And I had a hard time keeping my hands off it, but I knew the consequences. So I just want to say thank you, thank you. And to the teachers, once more, all of you that work in our various buildings that's really overcrowded, if you see any of those that have worked on it, please say thank you to them because they really put themselves out there, and for the majority of the folks agreed with us. They understood what we were trying to accomplish. And so to our community, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Ms. Powell? I agree. I think that the passing of this referendum really shows that education and this school district and our students are a priority to our community, and I appreciate that greatly. So I echo those same sentiments. Thank you. All right. Go ahead, Ms. Crosby. Sure.
Having been on the board when we passed the referendum a few years back, you have no idea how much work goes into this, even though we, as a board, district aren't allowed to touch it. There are so many people involved. There's no way you could sit up here and say thank you to every one of the people behind the scenes. And they're the ones that really did all the work. They're the ones that are really the backbone of this referendum. And of course, the voters come out and support it. But as a whole, we always appreciate what the district does, and we appreciate what the community does to help our children. Thank you.
Okay, so at this time, we will call for the vote. Okay, and the motion carries 6 in favor, 1 absent.
And now I'd like to go to our last resolution of the evening, resolution authorizing the refunding of the 2015 B bonds. So this is to update the resolution that was adopted September 28th, 2020. Our bond counsel advised us to have you adopt a new resolution due to age. This is to be able to refund our last remaining 2020 referendum bonds. So the resolution says this: authorizing the issuance and sale of not exceeding $31,600,000 taxable or tax-exempt general obligation refunding bonds, Series 2024, or such other appropriate series designation of School District Number 2 of Dorchester County, South Carolina. So I'm asking the board's vote and approval on this resolution.
Okay, do I have a motion? Motion made by Ms. Powell, seconded by Mr. Farnsworth. Any discussion? Questions? Okay, hearing none, we will call for the vote. Okay, motion carries, 6 in favor, 1.
And yes, and just to kind of reiterate kind of what the board members had said about the referendum, we're very grateful for our community and their support and value of education, but people are asking, when is the work going to start? I know people are saying that. I know per Dr. Robbins and the team, they're working diligently to put things on our website and put a Gantt chart, which is a timeline of how things are going to progress for each project. So I know that he is working diligently behind the scenes, and hopefully we'll have that up soon. And so when people click on what's going to happen at the school that my children attend, they can click on that and kind of see the Gantt chart where those things in the projects, how they're kind of developing. So just want to kind of put that out there. So if people are saying what's going to happen at each building, those projects, and Dr. Robbins, they put that on our website so people can see that and see the transparency. So just want to let people know.
Well, I just want to say on behalf of the community, thank you for so much transparency, because, you know, they voted, so now we want them to be able to actually see in time what's going on with each of the buildings. So thank you so much for doing that.
You're welcome. The other thing, you know, per Dr. Robbins put together a committee called the CART, which will then be a citizens review of all the projects. Right. And I know that group will be meeting here before the end of the summer and talking about all the projects and the referendum, how the money's going to be spent. Again, that's another layer of transparency. So I agree with you, Mrs. Powell. So people know where their dollars are going. Mm-hmm. Okay, our next agenda item up in the board is student enrollment recommendations. And so I'm asking the board approval for student enrollment recommendations. This is for the 2024-25 school year. You will see there's a lot of recommendations. And one of the things that we put in place for next year is when we did the redistricting for certain schools, if they had a sibling. So if we had a 5th grader that was at Beach Hill, for example, and they had a 4th grader or a 3rd grader, their sibling is allowed to stay there as far as a grandfathering piece there. So we have several of those coming in for 1 year. That is correct, for 1 year only. And so we're having several of those coming in. So that's what if you do see several siblings, that's what you're seeing right now. So thank you.
Okay, board members, are you okay with doing that in open session? Okay, do I have a motion? Okay, motion made by Ms. Bakes, seconded by Ms. Powell. Any discussion or questions? Okay, hearing none, we will call for the vote.
And the last item on the superintendent's report is a personnel report that you have in board docs. And so just asking for board approval of the personnel report.
Okay, and the motion carries for the student enrollment recommendation, 6 in favor, 1 absent. All right, and I believe the personnel report, we will be holding to vote on that until after executive session. And does that complete your presentation for this evening?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Wimberly.
Well, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate your help. Next on the agenda, we have our public comments, and we have none this evening. So at this time, I will need a motion to convene into executive session for a personnel item.
So moved.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Guthrie, seconded by Ms. Powell. Any discussion or questions? Okay. Hearing none, we will call for the vote. Okay, and the motion carries 5 in favor, 1 absent, and 1 abstention. Okay, we are in executive session, and we will return to open session after. Okay, at this time, I need a motion to return to open session.
So moved.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Guthrie, seconded by Ms. Bates. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, we'll call for the vote.
One I had already signed out.
Okay, and the motion carries 5 in favor, 1 abstention, and 1 absent. We are now back in open session.
Christy voted for. Yeah, Christy voted for.
Okay, at this time, do I have a motion from anyone? Okay, do I have a motion for any action required from our executive session meeting?
Madam Chair, I make a motion to accept the personnel recommendation as presented in our packet.
Okay, motion made by Ms. Bakes, seconded by Ms. Powell. Any discussion? Okay, and hearing none, we will call for the vote.
Well, Ms. Crosby, what would you like to tell Mr.?
Okay, and the motion carries 5 in favor, 1 absent, and 1 abstention. Okay, and at this time, I need a motion to adjourn. Anyone? Anyone?
Motion to
Deal.
adjourn.
Motion made by Mr. Guthrie. Yes. Do I have seconded by Ms. Bates? Any discussion? And
Discussion.
no discussion allowed. Please vote to adjourn. And the motion carries 6 in favor, 1 absent. We are adjourned.
No, I was, but.